What you're doing in the short term to make yourself comfortable is killing your potential. It's killing what you could be. It's killing your ultimate life. And I want you to stop when you're about to put that shit in your mouth or you're about to take that drink that you didn't earn. And I want you to think about how this is going to affect your ultimate potential long term. People who are in better shape, in better health, live longer, they're more productive, they earn more money, they have more fulfilling lives, they're happier, they're less depressed, and they're more effective. And those are all scientific facts. So quit doing what's comfortable now and start doing what's going to make you comfortable later.
The second it stops sucking, that means in your mind, you believe you've arrived. And you're just, I'm comfortable here. My goal in life is to continue to find more about myself. So I'm glad I'm in this pigeonhole right now. If I wasn't here, there's no more growth. Without friction, without frustration, without anxiety, there's no growth. There's no growth if you don't sit at home thinking, what the fuck, man? I need that in my life. I need that. And I need that to then have something to say, okay, how are we going to process this? How are we going to learn more? Versus looking to the external to find all the fucking answers. The beauty, like I keep on saying, is I now am there at the fuck, man. Why? God, dog, this is crazy. Every night. That's the beauty of it all now. I have friction. And that friction, with that friction, is now more growth. We're all looking to become Yoda. And it's just really mastering your own mind. That's what all the schooling's for. That's what all the suck is for. That's what all the getting up early is for. That's what making your bed is for. Cleaning the house is for. Being a better leader. So you can now fight all the bullshit of the world, all the real strong people trying to manipulate your brain. You now have a very strong foundation. That's what it's all about. The foundation has to be strong so then you can now defend yourself and do what's right for yourself amongst all the people saying you're fucking wrong. And to develop a man like this, I realized that, like to sharpen a sword, to make a sword, you have to put it through fire. And you have to beat the fucking shit out of it. Repeatedly, you have to beat the living shit out of it. And so my mindset started to become that. And I realized that nothing hard comes from soft. And so when people have that mindset of I failed, it determines how you look at that. I made a choice. And those things didn't make me hard. I had to find strength within them. Where I became hard was the discipline. The self-discipline. Key word is self. Discipline is great. Self-discipline makes you a master of yourself because no one is helping you. That's where you really start to callous your mind. You callous your mind not through enduring a hard childhood or a hard life. It's enduring the things that make you uncomfortable, which is we all have this list in our head of the things that we want to stay very clear of. Some of us are afraid of heights. Some of us are afraid of getting up early. Some of us are afraid of cold water. Some of us are afraid of going to college. Whatever it may be, we have this list that we are staying very clear of. You need to get that fucking list, put it in front of you, and start making that list the only list you go from. And during this list is how you start to create the calloused mind. You're never going to be able to callous your mind by going to this magical list in the golden tool shed that makes you feel all comfortable and fuzzy inside. There's no callous there. Like I did 4,030 pull-ups in 17 hours to break the Guinness Book of World Records for most pull-ups. In that time period, I did 67,000 pull-ups in 9 months. 67,000 pull-ups in 9 months. What happens to your hands is they become calloused. Calluses protect your hands against that hard, nasty, gritty ass bar that you're gonna touch thousands and thousands of times. You have to do that to your mind. Your mind has to touch hardship. It has to be uncomfortable. It has to be put in a situation where it's forced to grow. If you're never forcing your mind to grow, there's no calluses. Calluses will never start to grow. So it starts there. So, you know, when I was growing up, I realized that a lot of things would motivate me, like the round 14 of Rocky, man. You know, oh my God, there it is, man. I'm so motivated. Motivation only lasts for so long. And I call motivation crap because it only lasts for so long. Motivation is just that kindling. But basically, that motivation can get put out by a storm real quick. And a storm in our minds can be paying bills, your wife or husband on your fucking nerves, your kids being sick, or your job getting at you, or you're not losing weight fast enough, or you failed a test. And all these things that life bring you can totally bring the storm of life and put that 1 hour of fuel out. That's motivation. A lot of people who are hearing this right now might get motivated from my story or something I said, and they may want to go out and start running, and they may put their running shoes on, and they may make it to a quarter of a mile like I did the first time. And at a quarter mile, you may be fucking winded and extremely exhausted, and you may never want to run again, and your motivation may be gone because it hurt real bad. But a lot of you who are hearing this will go way beyond motivated, and they will find a drive and a passion and an inspiration and an obsession. And when you start saying words like obsession and drive, you become a person that many people don't understand who you are anymore. You become a person that people want to put a title on of you're crazy, or what's wrong with you, because they can't understand what is driving you. Many people in this world don't have the kind of drive to push them through things that are extremely painful. And that's why I talk about motivation and drive so much, is that you want to be a person that life doesn't get in the way of what you have to accomplish. When you're motivated, life will put that kindling out, and you will lose the spark, and you will go right back down to your pathetic life. When you're driven, you're living off of that big fucking log in the woods that has that 10,000 hour fuel that burns for days and hours, and it keeps burning and burning and burning. So that's what drive is about, man. And you want to get to a point where no matter if you haven't paid your bills, if you don't have the right money, if your job's fucked up, if life's fucked up, you still do what you have to do to succeed in life. And that's what it's about.
I want to challenge you to have like a internal sense of urgency and an internal desire. And I want you to literally get uncomfortable. Now, listen, you have to understand that is going to be against your natural inclination, because naturally, as human beings, we seek comfort. And so oftentimes, for you to get uncomfortable, you have to go against your natural inclination to want to be comfortable. And so that's why it's very few people who step out there and make things happen. You know,
people, once again, man, there's so many messages in that book. You have to find your best self. So then when you're faced with all the evil and all the bullshit that the world's gonna give you, you are strong enough to say, that's not the right thing for my men. Not the right thing for my team. You have the courage and confidence. By going through the suck, you now have this mental armor, which is what all that was about. Everything in life was developing a mental armor so I can face all the people saying, why the fuck are you self-publishing? Just an example. It's the dumbest thing you ever do. Who's gonna buy a book about a black guy who was fat, who's now a Navy SEAL, who couldn't read? If you don't have that fucking armor-plated mind, all that fucking evil is gonna penetrate it, as it did for me when I was younger, because you have no confidence. You can't lead without confidence.